A murdered musician is resurrected by a bird to seek vengeance on the gang that took his life and his love.
Welcome back down to the bar for another of Kev's favourite films. We're up to number 72. It is interesting the way that you say a bird resurrects, because if you sort of make it that like a Cockney accent, some bird resurrects him. It means something completely different.
Came round,
so.
yeah.
Didn't we? I'm sure we had. I'm sure we had a few episodes where Danny Dyer and Barbara Windsor were a thing would change. I can't remember which ones.
I think Danny Dyer would be great in most films. It'd been a good addition. It's like Nicolas Cage now as well. Like he'd be a good addition to most films, I feel.
Just put him in with Keanu. So here we are. We're here from that description to watch 1994's The Crow. Obviously, very famously starring Brandon Lee. 2 explosions, 30 deaths, 0 animated characters. Although I think AI, the definition of an animated character, we might actually get into a little bit. And because realistically, this is the closest we've got so far with 130 movies down. We've brought in our horror expert. Natalie's come down to the bar.
Thanks for having me.
You're like,
I'm not
this
sure.
Is a horror.
I wouldn't put it as one, but gothic.
No.
On the fringes, I'd say.
On Andy's list of 50 movies that he had to watch this year, his horror was The Abyss. So, in that scale, this is closer than that.
Yeah, also that's sci-fi.
Yeah,
in the long list of genres underneath, so there's like the 6th one, so that counts as long as it's in the long somewhere. I mean, you say it's sci-fi. Clearly, you don't remember watching it because they forget about the sci-fi for like 90% of the movie. But that was last week. Welcome down to the bar for the first time.
Thank you.
We're here to talk about the Crow.
Yes.
Natalie, what's your relationship with this movie? Have you ever seen it before? Do you remember when you first saw it?
My connection to the movie is that for a period of some years, when I was in secondary school, I was obsessed with Bruce Lee. So, by nature of that obsession, I ended up trying to watch The Crow. For people who don't know, obviously it's his son in the movie. But so I've definitely seen it once. I don't remember how I saw it. I don't know what age I was. I don't remember anything. I remember like the vibes, and I remember like his. He's got pretty iconic, the long hair and the face paint. But that's it. I didn't really remember anything else. Yeah.
So you you watched it, but obviously the Bruce Lee films completely outdid it, and you remember all of them rather than
absolutely,
Well, I would argue that. Can you remember all Bruce Lee films are all the same, aren't they? I mean, not that I'm dissing them. I like them as well, but it's pretty much the same. Bruce Lee turns up into a random place / village / town, and.
Unfortunately, it's a podcast, so the listeners won't be able to see that Natalie's just jumped up onto the bar and is holding her foot several centimetres away from Kev's face right now.
Yes. So, I mean, that's it. I don't remember anything, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
What's your favourite Bruce Lee movie that's different from all the others so that Kev can educate himself?
Well,
Don't say Enter the Dragon.
Why? It's classic.
Because it's the most obvious one.
I see. Well, I mean, Game of Death is cool. I mean, anything where like there's levels of things as you go through a building, and it inspired the Kill Bill outfit, and he fights like a 7-foot basketball player or something mental.
Cool.
So fine, Kev, I will say.
Yeah, there you go.
Death.
All right, good times.
Good times. Good times.
What about you?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, yeah. So, I mean, Natalie, you are a little bit younger than me and Kev. So, yeah, you sort of came to it through the Bruce Lee connection. But like, yeah, in 1904 when it came out, obviously because of everything that happened around the film, but also just because it was the entire vibe, right? Grunge and Nirvana and Kerrang especially, like also coming off the back of Tim Burton sort of being at the height with Batman and Edward Scissorhands and stuff like that. Like this was just like the biggest thing in the world at the time for 15, well, probably 14 to 17-year-olds. So, and I would say that, like, obviously we talked about Usual Suspects and the fact that everyone had that poster on their wall, but this poster was also absolutely iconic, which I didn't know. Kev, is that how you've actually chosen these films? Were you just at HMV going through the posters and you were like, oh, that's a good one.
That would explain the Kingpin one. That why that made it onto the list.
This is actually just your 100 favorite movie posters.
Yes.
But I definitely saw it on VHS. I definitely saw it at home. Didn't go to the cinema. I think it was an 18. So yeah.
Yeah. Were you of age when you saw it? We're not allowed to say that.
Yeah. No. I was younger than. I was definitely like no older than 15.
Wow, such a rebel in those younger years.
But that's the thing. It was just everywhere, and like especially a lot of the art that people would draw on their folders at school. It was everywhere, and then kind of almost for me, and at the time it was almost the reverse of you, Natalie. This then. I knew who Bruce Lee was, but I hadn't, watched any of his films.
Really?
They weren't very accessible at the time. So then it kind of, almost sort of took me, okay, well now check out Bruce Lee. And then obviously all of the rumors around both of their deaths and stuff, you could sort of, it's very much the rabbit hole that you could go down.
Yeah.
But like I would say, so I've definitely seen it a couple of times, probably not since the 90s. And I wasn't like a massive fan of it just because I wasn't really cool enough to be into like grunge.
Can't see you into gothic stuff. And grunge.
Yeah. No, it's not really me. I don't have a face for makeup, unfortunately. So with these cheekbones, who needs it? But it's
of course.
You're more Harry Styles than Brandon Lee. Yeah.
Well, at the time, I think I was more aha than anything cool. So it still holds up. So I kind of I'd seen it, but even. Yeah, so I mean, Batman is a classic, I think, but like, all of the sort of Tim Burton goth stuff just was never really for me. So, Kev, number 72 on your list. Do you have photos of you in the black outfit and the face paint? Did you when I was listen 15, to The Cure for 2 years straight, or why is it on there?
So interestingly, actually, that I came at it of a different angle to both of you as well. Then, so I used to watch Bruce Lee films. I remember watching them with my dad, so I guess I got into it from that point. So but probably still on the VHS. Unlike probably, I guess Nat, you probably got the luxury of DVDs when you watched it. So
pirate DVDs, no less.
Oh wow! Okay, so maybe someone's standing up in between. But it's funny as we've established. Like these are kind of the 100 movies I can remember. I think is what we've worked out on this list, rather than necessarily my 100 favorite movies. So I don't remember. I don't think I've seen it since the 90s either. But it is. I do remember it being very iconic. It, sort of staying with me when I watched it. So when I was putting this list together, it did just resonate in my head. I was just like, I remember this film being good. And obviously, as you said, there's all the things that went on around it as well. And obviously, his death. That I guess sort of adds to it as well. But there was something in my head that I just sort of thought, I remember this being good. It needs to be on the list. And as with many of these decisions, who knows? It's a flip of the coin whether it's going to be a good film or not. So,
Yeah. Was there anything in particular that you were either looking forward to or sort of thinking, I wonder how that stands up, or was there sort of anything that you remembered in particular that you were like, that would be interesting?
Yeah, I think the thing is, obviously, because he, we'll get into it anyway, but he obviously gets killed on set accidentally, and so he's obviously, they finish off the film, they have most of the stuff with him in, but obviously this is in the 90s where, you don't have AI, you don't have deep fake, you can't just recreate someone's face easily. So I was thinking, I wonder how the film is going to piece together as a whole, because there's probably going to be some scenes where he's just not there, and they had to complete the scene with like someone else, or they couldn't use his voice, and so they had to change the scene. So I wasn't sure how well it would still stitch together with that happening, but yeah, I mean, I thought actually it was pretty impressive still. I thought it was still like, it was quite, it is a film of what it is, isn't it? I mean, it's not going to be winning Oscars, but I thought, it was, that part was very good. I thought it wasn't noticeable. Like, if you didn't know that he died during the film, hadn't completed the scenes, I don't think you'd necessarily would be able to tell that.
One fact in the research, one of the body doubles that they used was a young Chad Stahelski, who obviously then went on to do the stunts on The Matrix, and then directed
and then created
the John Wick, the John Wick universe. Cool. So, which we'll get into, but there's you can see some effects and some visuals that definitely have been taken on by other people. So this week's drinks still brought to you by Out Out. Which I thought, I could describe Out in terms of a film, because that's what our listeners all think about all day, every day, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, the last time that you went out with your friends, you know that the film of that night exists, but it's been released across 8 different phones with 8 different edits, and there's no distribution deal. You've seen the trailer, but you'll never see the whole film. Well, Out is the director's cut. It's one event, one private album. Everyone contributes, photos, videos, comments, and then the night it ends. And then it becomes a memory that everyone can revisit. And it's good for trips, weddings, birthdays, festivals, the weekend none of you can fully account for. Everything is free to download for 30 days afterwards. A small one-time fee if you want to keep it on the app forever. There's no monthly fee, no subscription, no algorithm, no AI, which is a blessing. But it's just there for you, the director's cut of your time with your friends, as you can download it now in the App Store and Play Store, and go get it. So, Natalie,
lovely.
While we talk about the film, what drink are you serving up?
So I took this part really seriously. So I initially thought,
as opposed to the rest,
the rest didn't bother with
the film, the notes, none of that. But what I'm going to be drinking.
Well, initially I thought a dark and stormy to match the vibe, but
good choice.
I don't think the Crow himself would drink cocktails. No. So then I thought something short, like a whiskey, but decided he would just have straight absinthe. So we're having absinthe.
Nice.
Yes, that gives him the ability to see through the crow's eye.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I like
the last time I had absinthe, I too looked through the eye of a robin. It wasn't so good. I would say 29 episodes into the season, absinthe has come up a lot, which I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that says either about us or Kev's
the film choices. I think it's just something extra you need to get through them. Yeah.
We haven't even got to Moulin Rouge yet. What about you, Kev?
Well, I went for something called the Devil's Night Smoked Sour, which is mezcal, a tart cherry or pomegranate juice, lime juice, and some nectar. Yeah, so that sounded quite interesting. Nice mezcal sour, effectively.
Nice.
What about you, Andy?
Mezcal. I mean, I was thinking about the whole vibe, the whole sort of goth edge of it, and so Snake Bite and Black, I believe, is the is the drink of choice. Make it purple so that it fits in with the goths. And then half cider, half lager. You know what I'm not going to do is the Bullet Shot, because I do not think that that's going to pass through your gastrointestinal tract very easily. Okay. So we will not be downing bullets. That just
very unsanitary.
Almost the most unrealistic thing going. I'm not sure. Coming back from the dead, check that. That long hair, okay, I just about believe that. But swallowing a bullet just doesn't. I don't think that's going to pass very easily through.
No.
So.
Yeah, that was a funny scene, wasn't it? It was some good crazy stuff. It reminds me a bit of like Escape from New York in that sense. There was some like proper like craziness going on in some of the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one word reactions then. So Natalie, it's come to you first. What was your one word / sentence?
My one word is confused.
Oh.
I feel like
or the film?
the film. The plot is very confused. I feel I have more questions than answers, I would say, at the end of the film.
I mean, you have
good job
the Crow expert here. I thought that was you, Kev.
I'm here just for posters. You know that.
What was the biggest questions you think still left?
Just like, where are they? Why is it so self-contained? Why, like, they're acting like they're these big, this like punk gang that like runs the town, but you never really see them do anything. I feel like they're acting bigger than the sort of set almost allows. And like, what's their purpose? I don't really get what they're trying to do other than be.
What is your 5-year plan?
Yeah, what's the purpose? Why is the leader dressed like a vampire? But sometimes he like speaks like a cowboy. Like at one point I was like, oh, they're going to have like made him, live forever. But I don't know. It like nothing seemed to make sense. Also, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but it really reminded me of The Room. Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Oh.
I just like, who is the girl? Why do we care about her so much, Sarah? Like, why? Like, I felt nothing for her and their relationship.
Oh, wow.
Are we supposed to like Darla, the mum? Because
she's trying.
But she's not trying. She even says at the end, she's a bit like, like, I didn't really like being a mum. Like, have your crap eggs. I don't know. There's nothing quite worked for me, I'm afraid.
Interesting.
I'm so sorry.
What about you then, Andy? What was your one word sentence?
90s. Just 90s. It just felt so early 90s. Actually, after watching it, I then just went into a dark room with a single candle and listened to music.
Did you like drape a piece of material over your lamp?
The candle was in a Jack Daniel's bottle with the wax down the side of it.
And it would have had to be a cassette player to get the real feel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the headphones that just went over your head and didn't go. None of this in-ear stuff for surround sound. The metal ones that just always snagged your hair and was just annoying. It felt super of its time. It was almost quite funny. Funnily enough, I'd forgotten about the voiceovers, but then I remember, like, once it started, I was like, oh god, like everyone was. There was a lot of lines that people would kind of quote, and kind of the voiceover, almost a bit of a throwback to the 80s, where she's kind of explaining the plot of the movie. And then I remember at the time it bothered me, like, where is it set? What's the point? Who is everyone? Kind of, was one of those things. And then, but then at the same time, I think it kind of keeps the film very tight in a way. And very, like, it's just about him killing the 4 dudes. And I think there was a lot of subplots that they didn't put in because they hadn't quite finished them and they needed more of Brandon than they had.
Yeah.
So actually, it almost kind of just made it. I think there was like this world building sort of going on, but actually because of everything that happened, they then edited it down to actually be quite a small story in a way. And I feel like that actually may have made it better. Like obviously we don't know what the original thing was, but like it moves. It's quite quick. He's there to kill the 4 people, and then almost when it then starts being about the big guy, you're kind of a bit like, why is he even bothering? Like why is he going after the freaky guy, and like who is that? And is he still alive from being Guy of Gisborne from Robin Hood? Because it seems very...
He's a bit strange,
cousin.
And like obviously he's like supposed to be like this kingpin, but then his whole point of what he wants to do is just anarchy, I guess. And you're like, well, but like what are you going to do? Because you're going to have no money if there's anarchy. Like it's not like it's the Joker, right? Where the Joker's like supposed to be like insane, and that he just wants everyone else to be like, the world to be crazy, and that's what he wants, anarchy for. Whereas you're like, this guy wants money, so why does he also want anarchy? Because it just doesn't seem to work.
Especially if he keeps burning things down every year.
Yeah, it's just bizarre, right? So
maybe
that did seem a bit strange.
A big insurance scam. He sells
every year.
He sells the lumber that rebuilds the shops or something. But then, like the fact that he says that he's bored when he sort of gets all of the henchmen together. Again, I think there's definitely like Batman Joker sort of like vibes to it, right? Where he's like, I'm bored of this. I want something more. And then obviously, I do think that that Heath, in his portrayal of the Joker, has obviously taken a lot from this as well. I think just the way that he moves is very similar, and you can kind of see a through line. You can kind of see a through line that like this is a few years after Batman, and that kind of you can see like the Joker, kind of make up a little bit as an impact and stuff. And I do think that there's a bit of a through line for there. And then obviously, like the setting and the kind of, especially the running on the rooftops when the police are chasing him, like like the Matrix is so obviously like.
But is it the first parkour film?
Well, and the long trench coat and stuff. Like I was really like, oh wow, like the Matrix has, obviously, the people putting that film together really liked this film, which obviously I think the Matrix is almost does kind of pass the torch in a little while, right? Where that is a very goth film as well, and it's in its way, right? So you can definitely see like how this has influenced that. So it still stood up for you though, Kev? You still
I enjoyed it. I must admit, I couldn't really remember much about what happened, and like you said, it's sort of I mean, it opens up and just like, it's like bang, we're off. Like there's no like you can't settle down if you haven't already had an absinthe. You're already behind because it's a shocking start. And then obviously, it then gets into what's going to actually happen, and he comes out and all that, and it gets moving. But no, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought he was good. I thought Brandon was really good. I thought he acted well. They pass him over quite quickly where he suddenly understands, obviously he's immortal, and he's like, oh, okay. I did like the connection with the crow. I thought that was a nice little add-on. And I did think they probably would have had to actually use an actual crow at this time. They wouldn't have been able to do any AI. So they would have had to train the crow to do most of his own stunts.
It was a raven, apparently.
Ah, really?
Yeah,
there you go.
Because
they're better at training.
Well, probably. I think they're quite smart, but it's much bigger than a crow. So that's apparently the bird they use.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lots of them that apparently didn't like flying in the rain very much, which obviously is a bit of an issue for this film. So
they're like, you're not paying me enough. Sorry, guys. Talk to my agent. But I thought that was good. I like that dynamic. I like the, like we said earlier, like looking through the crow's eyes was quite clever as well. That was quite good.
We can figure out, like, is he walking into the crow? Are they just communicating with each other? Like, does he have crow vision through the crow's eyes? Like I didn't get that.
I think that's what it's supposed to be, that he can see what the crow sees.
Okay. Crow vision is quite wobbly, I would say. there was like a crazy wobbly effect, whereas I thought it would be way more like sharp,
precise.
Well, he's moving his head from side to side. You just you've got to get used to seeing through a quote. Have another absinthe. We'll see how you go.
Yeah, you got to remember that. Brandon's had a couple of absinthes already.
That's
so
true,
2 absinthes through his own eyes and then through the crow's eyes. But I thought it was good. I quite like that. Like you said, there are lots of like, you can see lots of like 80s, 90s tropes. I can see like similar sort of feel of scenes from Tango and Cash as well, like in the rain, like the slow-mo walking. I can always see a bit of Bond in here as well, like modern Bond. So it's like the story is a little bit, like if you spend too much time thinking about it, you are like, what's going on here? This makes no sense. But you're right. If you just sort of think, right, let's just think about it. He just wants to kill these 4 people. He's dead. Let's just see if we can go from there. Then it kind of works. But it's I still enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I honestly thought it was better than I thought it was going to be. Because it's an old school 90s film, I was like, I don't know if this is going to hold up. But I thought it was pretty good. I mean, what did you guys think of there? Was the stuff that was good, stuff that was bad? Obviously, there was some questions.
Well, I mean, I'll start here. So, as you both know from the last list, I'm over the trope of a woman having to get raped in order for a man to pursue anything. However, do I like the idea of a vengeful crow deciding that you can come back from the dead in order to kill all of the people that killed you and your fiancé? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, of course, I love that.
Yeah. Where is that on my ballot list? I will vote for that.
Exactly. So, like, I do. Like, how does the crow decide? Does the crow decide? Is there like a a committee of crows that are like, that one, he can come back.
Well, quite literally a murder of crows.
Exactly.
Is the collective of crows.
There we go.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you're right. It could have been either of them as well, right? It could have been her that had come back.
It could have been her.
I did wonder, there was a point when they're talking where the super kingpin and like he's like, I don't know, like Mystique or whatever. I don't know what you call the woman that he was with. There was another girl,
his sister wife.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
I mean,
of course,
they make out, but he does say this is his sister.
And then there's another girl in the bed, and they talk, and you don't see her, but like you see her eyes. And I was like, oh, I wonder if that's going to be her, and she's still alive. I thought at one point, and then obviously that never comes to fruition at all. So I was like, oh, okay, she's definitely dead.
Cut her eye out. Cut her eye out and throw it at the pawnbroker for some reason.
And the prosthetic was so small. I'm like, that's not the size of a human eye. That's so small. It was like this tiny little, like a sweet almost. But yes, so what did you think about the female characters as a whole then, Nasty? Do you think that, because obviously they've got the girl as well, when she sort of pops in and out.
So Sarah, I found, I think also, like, overall what I didn't like was that there was not enough, and I feel like I'm going to be cursed because I'm speaking ill of the dead. But I think like there wasn't enough of anything explained, so then kind of nothing was explained. Like, so I think that's where I'm tripping up. So like I understand that Sarah felt, I assume, like Eric and what's her name, his wife, Shelley, looked after her, I guess, as substitute parents, but we don't know why. Well, like, why did they care so much? So I don't care about Sarah because I don't really understand the relationship. And then I think, like, back the other way to like the kingpin guy and his sister / lover. Like, why are they playing around with eyeballs? Because when that first came up, I was like, is it spells? Like, are we going like proper goth and we're going like in a magic direction? Like, are they drinking the eyeball? Are they smoking the eyeball? I don't really understand. Like, is she a witch? Like, I don't get it. So I think it's just a shame because there were so many cool elements, but then it just doesn't. It doesn't really come together, I think. So I'd say I probably disliked more than I liked, but I think it was just the script maybe just was not strong enough, or the fact that they didn't have enough footage to work with and had to piece it together.
Yeah, and I think with that, almost for me, that the action then doesn't kind of kick on enough to make up for that. There's actually, I thought there was like a surprisingly lack of action, to be honest with you. There's only kind of the one fight really. He gets rid of like you don't see a lot of the knife fight with the guy that the first guy that he kills.
Tintin.
The guy in the car obviously is like just in the car and they're driving fast, but like you don't actually see, you know, the last fight where he's trying to get Skank and you know, he's killing everyone. That's obviously like a good fight. And again, like, wow, Matrix have taken so much from that. But like, you kind of like, is there enough action in this to then make up for the lack of story? But then they've tried to put in a lot of story, because the way they even frame it with the flashbacks and stuff, I don't know. I'm not sure whether that works.
More like a thriller, I guess, isn't it, than an action? Because you're right. I wasn't. You're right. There's some films where you're thinking, like what's going on? Why aren't we seeing another action scene yet? This is like, you know, what's happening? Because there's not, you know, definitely when the plot's not strong enough for you know, certain films that will come onto in the top 10. But yes, I feel like this one felt more like even though it doesn't make sense, the story does sort of still move along. And like, I don't know, maybe because like he's quite captivating, I feel. And like, I think like he was, and I don't know, maybe it's just because you know he's dead and you just feel like you're watching him closer. I don't know. But it just, I don't know, it felt like he captivated you. So I didn't feel like there needed to be more action sequences for me. But, you know, that being said, film's always better with more action in. So why not add more in?
But I think... but I also think, like early 90s, nothing did have to make sense, right? It was sort of, we've said this a lot about kind of coming out of the 80s, where you're just like, yeah, you know what, there is a whole another world, but actually like no one's looking to create the Crow multiverse and across different media. So it's kind of like, here's a snapshot. He's going to kill these 4 dudes because they murdered and raped his fiance and him. Like, crack on. And it's almost like when they bring in then the other guy, you're a bit like, well, why you bother? Like, we don't care. We don't care what the Kingpin's trying to do. Like, why? Yeah. And I think that's where then, I think maybe with the editing where they've done it, is the final fight, funnily enough, like Skank gets off quite easy. He just pushes him out a window, whereas all the others have died in quite grisly ways. But Skanky just sort of pushes out onto the mosh pit. And so you kind of like, so then you don't have like the big fight at the end. And so then it's a bit like, well, like then I think it would have just fallen a bit flat, which is kind of why then they have to then take Sarah, and then they have the sort of the final battle and stuff like that, which must have been in the script anyway, because obviously there's a lot of like close-ups of him and stuff in the final battle, you know, especially when he then sort of unloads the hurt, which I guess is kind of the emotional payoff, right? Is that, you know, visiting the hurt from Shelley onto the bad guy. But again, you're a bit like, but do I really care about this bad guy? And like, okay, he ordered them, but I'm sure he didn't order them to like, he didn't say, okay, go in and shoot him a couple of times and push him through the window. People. You're a bit like,
Yeah, I love that he used a church spire as a sword. That's very fun. I think that's the other thing where it's a bit like, I don't really understand why they targeted them. Like, she started a petition. Like, it doesn't feel like. I mean, and I think
it's how bad this place is.
This is what I mean. It's a bit like, I kind of don't believe that it's that bad, because then you don't really see them doing much after that. Like, I don't know. Like, I think it just doesn't tie in. And like you said, Andrew, like the Kingpin. Like, did he know? Did he care? I didn't really.
I guess he kind of just gives the orders, and he's like, go and do something to them, and then they do whatever they see fit. But I think the Kingpin's a weird one. I think maybe you're right, Andy. They would have fleshed that character out a bit more, maybe with more time. But it does seem a bit strange. You kind of. You definitely don't really need him, I don't think it really makes much difference. And then the whole thing is obviously that the Crow brings him back because he's effectively got unfinished business, which is with the 4. It's not with the Kingpin, right? The Kingpin's very irrelevant, so he should just be able to kill them. But I don't know, does it mean that the film sort of finishes a bit flat because like, oh, these aren't super intelligent like criminals, and he's found them and killed them in a day. So it's like move on.
And I think with the comic, he loses his powers because he starts to try and just do good. So I think in the comic originally, it's a bit like, no, you're not. I think it's actually with the mum where he takes the opium, like the addiction to whatever she's taking out, and that's actually why he loses his powers, because it's like, you're not here just to do good, you're here as revenge, as vengeance, not just as a superhero. And I kind of think that's a little bit the point of the comic, is like, you're not here to do good, you're just here. And so then there's this whole other character that explains that and is a bit more of the bridge, but they didn't have the payoff with him and Brandon, so then they had to reshoot it and actually took out that character entirely from the films. It just didn't have enough. So I think it's
interesting.
That's kind of the thing. Like I wanted to watch it just as a film, which I kind of did, and then did the sort of listen to a few podcasts and sort of did the research afterwards. But I think it's especially at the time, it was such a thing, like him dying on the set as like the lead person. Obviously, unfortunately it's happened again, but like as like the main star, especially like you said, other people that were linked to this as well, like Christian Slater and
Depp,
like Keanu, Johnny Depp, even River Phoenix and stuff, and you sort of think like he was, at the time he was such an up and comer that he was in the same league as those people, and so then to die is like, shows just how horrifying it was. But I almost, saying as I sort of became aware of it, unfortunately it was the film that he died on. Like that was kind of, as kids, that was why we knew about it.
We knew the film.
It is sort of the shadow that is cast over the whole film. And there's sort of nothing.
I wonder if they'll
away with that.
If they'll change something, like in future now, like with AI being able to, like, like whether I don't know if the director's still alive, but whether they'd be like, right, now that I can do it, if he got clearance from the estate, that he would rebuild the film the way he wanted to build it, because obviously you can use Brandon Lee's likeness and his voice now, right? You can recreate those.
Yeah, I mean, there's been 2 sequels and a reboot, to be fair. And the reboot wasn't that long ago, right? I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
It
was
one of the Skarsgårds.
And and it just didn't it just didn't do any very well at all.
Hard,
and that's the thing, like that, I think it's just of the time as well, like the vengeance and like the brutality of it, because the flashbacks are pretty brutal.
Yeah, they are.
Like and I think at the time you hadn't really, this is kind of at the same year as Pulp Fiction. You just hadn't seen this much violence, like loads on film, whereas now, you have, but almost like this is an elevated Death Wish. Almost, and the Death Wish movies were super, super brutal. And like, and even like Cobra and stuff like that, right? At the end of the 80s, those were the ones. And they almost became B movies, because just in mainstream movies, you just didn't see, the violence that then you would start to see after Tarantino and then, all of the people afterwards. So I don't think it holds up now doing it new, because it's just a different time. And you kind of seen it.
It'd be more of a TV series, I feel like, wouldn't it, now, if you were going to try and do it? And like you said, Andy, maybe it'd be closer to the comic book to try and sort of, I think like that would probably, maybe that would resonate better.
But almost like,
I'd be interested to see if the director's cut could be, if he did, with AI Day, he goes, okay, I'm going to create what I thought it should be. We had with The Abyss last week, when we saw the non-director's cut and it made no sense. So if you're ever watching it anytime soon, actually definitely watch the director's cut, otherwise it's a waste of 2.5 hours.
Oh no,
the theatrical just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, that's the thing, but this also, like, this was comic book movies for us in the 90s. Like, that's almost like post Marvel. Like, the kids don't know, they just don't understand. But like, most comic book movies that happened were super dark and were like very realistic, and you didn't like, that's why Iron Man kind of, it had that lightness and that, kind of that tone that almost would never, we'd never seen. Even like in the Superman movies, like the original ones, they are quite fairly dark in places. So Marvel kind of got when they came along, it was much lighter than everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Kids these days.
Yeah,
they don't know.
Like. I would say that. I mean, there's an excessive amount of smoking, which is very noticeable. And Winston, we'll call him Winston, although obviously he's called Ernie in the film, but we all know him from Ghostbusters. He just can't smoke a cigarette. He clearly does not smoke because he holds cigarettes in the most awkward way. It actually kind of reminded me of when I smoked for like 6 months, and I was just never very good at it. I never looked the part. I was like, no, this doesn't look right. This is like me holding a pint. It just doesn't look right. So. But there was a lot of smoking just casually as they're eating and stuff.
It's a very 90s trope, isn't it? The smoking.
Well, it's time, I guess.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, I guess we should get onto the mashup then and the scores.
First of all, we'll go through the scores again. Quite a tricky one to rate. So, first watch, I put 67 because it was like at the time. I think it was sort of something they hadn't seen, and I think it was, it was a thing. It was a sort of hallmark of culture at the time.
For sure.
And then on rewatch, I dropped it down to 52. Because I don't think it makes a lot of sense, but also hour 40, and it does move along. And if you almost sort of, it's not like you're ever bored. There's,
I feel like that's the difference between me and you of our age and watch many 90s films and can just be like, we're just used to this. And Natalie's like, why does none of this make sense? It's like, you used to have to watch these films all the time. It's like, yep.
That's I mean, that was where fan fiction was created. So
well, it's like we said,
we went and made the comic. So
like I mean, the first one on the list, right, Escape from New York, where it was like, the first minute they just scroll through and say, here you go, we've set the entire scene in some text, read this, right, now we go. And it's just like, okay, brilliant.
Which is basically what Sarah does, isn't it? It's like when something so bad happens, then a crow can bring a dead person back. Just bear that in mind.
Yeah. Just in case you're not sure what's going to happen.
And you're like, oh, okay, I think a crow is going to bring a dead person back. I don't know what it is, but I've got an inkling.
Romance then, I imagine this is pretty low.
No, right, what are you talking about? Romance? Really, I don't know whether you realise this, Kev. We're in your romance phase. This is, I mean, you've got the abyss. Someone sacrifices themselves for their dead wife that they brought back from slapping them. A little bit more questionable, has to be said. Someone comes back from the dead. It's all about love. So I gave it 80.
Well,
I think this is.
You gave it 80.
We're way. This is you. You always say
he doesn't
like
come
romance.
Back from the dead.
All of a sudden,
brought back from the dead. So he doesn't know what he's doing.
Because the murder of crows have had a committee meeting and have said that his love is so
I get
strong.
Why they brought him back, but he's just sort of like, what's happened here? Why am I out of my grave?
It's not like an escape room. He's not like, am I back to avenge my wife, or am I back to find the remote control that I left? Why am I here? He's pretty
clear
sure on his
mission.
On his mission.
Yeah,
I mean, another romance is fast becoming the genre of choice on your list, I think.
I love the way that you're trying to shoehorn this in. You definitely have way more romance in your list than I do. Level of action then.
Yeah, so I went with 46 on this. I just didn't think there was actually that much action. I thought almost the best move is when he jumps up on the table straight into crossing legs. I think that was almost the best move. I was like, oh wow, imagine the joint flexibility he must have to do that.
Yeah, it's back in the day. I think that's the issue though. You obviously see like life through like like a dove, I guess it would be, like dove's eyes. So every film looks like a romance film to you, and you cannot see the action. And even IMDb's told you this is an action movie, and you're like, no, it's a romance. Yeah, it's 80 for romance, 40 for action. Oh dear.
I mean, the explosion. So there's only the two explosions. Well, there's more than two explosions.
There are more than two explosions. Yeah,
AI got that wrong. I think that the car blows up at least 4 times. But like, but there's not. I was left a little bit unsatisfied by the one-on-one fight.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like the final. Yeah, the final battle. Yeah, like that's as in like the battle in the executive suite rather than the one-to-one.
Yeah. It felt very Kill Bill now, didn't it?
Is very different. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, I feel like, isn't there? I'm sure in Batman there's a scene when the Joker gets all of the heads together as well. So I do
there's probably lots of
there's a lot there.
Soundtrack then.
Yeah, so
did you sit in a quiet room and listen to it?
I went with 59 because I thought it was a good score and the songs were very 90s, but there's not like a song from The Crow that you're like, this is from The Crow. And I felt that was a bit, I thought that was a bit of a sad thing actually. Like there was no
you could have had like a really good one,
banger.
Yeah. That you've really like, like you said, a Cure or something like that really like at the end.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe that's that they gambled on the wrong songs, but like the score is very 90s, and it does add to the mood a lot.
Yeah,
but there's unfortunately no banger.
Yeah, fair enough. And then best line to describe the pod. What did you have here?
I mean, with your list, it can't rain all the time. Hopefully we'll get to some good movies at some stage. I do also like the where he says, "Oh well, he winked at me and then jumped out of the window," and he said he winks at you. Musicians, and I thought that was a good indictment. Good. I think just whenever we're doing another pod, I'm just going to think to myself, it can't rain all the time.
Yeah. And I'm just going to wink at you.
So the mashup.
Well, bonkers this is going to be.
Yeah. Pretty much. So title is Carrion Bloom. For some reason, carry on as in, dead body. In a vertical megacity choked by perpetual rain, courier Vesh Calder is murdered alongside his wife the night before they plan to flee off-world. A black bird drags him back from the dead, but resurrection has a price. He must locate the 5 elemental keystones scattered across the city's gang-controlled districts before a doomsday cult ignites them to scour humanity clean. Half vengeance, half savior, Vesh carves a path through the killers who took his life, while a fugitive priestess, engineered to be the 6th key, the living catalyst, becomes the only person who can stop him from burning the world down along with his enemies. To save her, he has to choose between the revenge that animates his corpse and the love that could finally let it rest. Neon, gunfire, and apocalypse, a dead man's grief weaponized against the end of the world.
Yeah, it's struggling with mashups, isn't it, these days? It's like, let's just take story A, story B, and literally just merge them together.
I mean, do we need to stop asking the AI and we just do it? Is maybe?
I think we should start doing it ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Natalie, any ideas? What
guesses?
What film that could be as the mashup?
No.
Yeah. Once you know, you'll be like, oh.
No, that's Reanimated. Makes me think of.
That's more
he must locate the 5 elemental keystones. Might be
Avatar.
Yeah.
No.
Nearly. This was Andy's list, remember, though.
Oh, I see. No, you've completely thrown me.
Oh, well.
No.
Go on, Andy.
It's The Fifth Element.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Of course
yes. And it's like that. That goes against exactly what we just said needs to happen in this film. Is he needs to concentrate on the vengeance, and that's like, no, we're just going to do that as a side plot, but you also need to save humanity. Why have I got to do that? I was dead. Like, why can't someone else do this? Where's Iron Man?
Why have you brought back Bruce Willis? So where was Fifth Element was quite high, wasn't it, in your list?
45. So top half of the section for me. So this is another,
and obviously the birth of the Fifth Element rule, which I think this film is almost a perfect example of where I'm not sure that it does. Yeah, I'm not sure it does.
I feel like it's a Fifth Element film, though. This one, it's kind of, yes, this was a challenging one for scoring as well. It's quite hard, obviously, with all the things that are connected afterwards. But I'd say, the first time you watch it, if you think about it, back in the day when you watched it, it was a very impressive film, and it was something completely different. And it did feel very futuristic at the time. So I gave it 80 for first watch. Rewatch, it's not as good on the rewatch. And then obviously there's all the extra stuff to go with it as well. So I brought that down to 34. I was like, it's hard, isn't it? Like, do you separate the art from the artist? Is the question, isn't it? It's like we had with The Usual Suspects, isn't it? You
love Taken, and that was written by the same guy. But
yes, well, I mean, bear in mind, Taken is still where's that on my list? 71, so still pretty low. But yes, level of romance. Good. I mean, this is the differential between how we see films, basically. And it's quite ironic because I think
love saves the entire planet because he loves her. He tells her that he loves her, and that's what makes the laser beam shoot out of her mouth.
But then,
is that how you remember it?
Yeah, that's definitely not how I remember it. No, but is that one scene in the entire 2-hour movie mean that it's 100% romance film? That's the thing for me.
You're not a man of big gestures, though. That's the thing. You put in the romance work day by day. You're not a Valentine's Day meal type of guy.
Yeah, I'm here 365, not just for one day a year. Come on. Look, I put 59. I'm just going to say it. It's out there. So I said 59, and I said 61 for action. And this is the thing. I see this more as an action film as a romance film, and you probably see these films as romance than action. So
I would have put both of those higher. Yeah. There's a lot of action, I think, especially when he's the entire but this is why we've got The Fifth Element, right? Because there's a lot of the film that is an action, but then once they're on the spaceship, there's just so much action, it's untrue. And then they go off the spaceship again, and you're like, oh yeah, this isn't action at all. But
which that's the thing, right? Spaceship. When there is, and when there isn't, there really isn't. So, I mean, I think there is a good amount of action in it. I thought 61 was reasonably fair. Happy to move it up. So, for soundtrack, I gave it 63. From memory, it was pretty good. I don't remember any specific bangers, but I thought it was pretty good.
The opera singer.
Oh my god, that's true. That should come down. That was awful.
I'm gonna dub 42. In the actual song there, so it looks like I've just done that perfectly.
And it was like, it was like 10 times too many. It was like, that is a long scene. That is a long scene where she's singing, but then goes into the action of the. Yes, well, you got to come out of that and go into action. You can't do anything else.
Yeah,
otherwise everyone will fall asleep. So, and then best line to describe the pod. just, I guess, generally how we both feel about the other person's lists. It was bad. It had no fire, no energy, no nothing. Just, just how we have to. I make you watch action films that you watch for romance. You make me watch romance films that I look for action. So at least we've got to the bottom of it now. So
and this is why we both love Night and Day so much.
Yeah, yes, the perfect happy medium.
It's the perfect combination of action and romance. Enough for both of us. That's fair. That's great. Do you want me to? Do you want me to roll? Sure.
Yeah, you roll.
Oh, soundtrack. Oh, so you win with
sneaked it again.
It's just snuck
close
in there.
Though.
That was close. That was that would have been. Those are two good cards to come up against each other. So that's a little run of 3 wins on the bounce for you. So you're now 16-12 up.
Yeah. So this is the beauty of all this, Natalie, is that we mark each other's cards. So I win the kudos points, but then Andy just I give him better scoring cards when we create the game. So yes, I think maybe he's got ahead of me here, and I've not really thought this through.
Well, as long as you're in control of choosing the category, the crow on romance is going to be a winner. So
yes, it's true. Yeah. Well, all right then. What do we think the main character's doing now then?
He'd still be in a band. A band lasts a lifetime. That's a multi-generational, multi-era thing. I would specify that he would not do any big tours. He would only do underground, grungy stuff. Independent label.
Is he getting resurrected for each show, or is he just wandering around?
That's a good question.
I guess in this scenario, he doesn't fade away, does he?
Yeah.
He stays to help out with Sarah and stuff.
Yeah. I guess in my head, it was if the horrible stuff hadn't happened, but then he wouldn't be the crow, would he? So
no, but he could still be alive at the end. He might. Maybe he just sleeps in his grave. That might be where he rests.
It's like Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, exactly. There's no wrong answers. Yeah.
I mean, so he'd be doing like the tour, going around just trying to make a bit more money now, and it's full of 50-year-olds who remember him back in the day and try and get the T-shirts out. And it's all a bit sad and a bit low energy, but he needs the money.
He would just appear, and people would be like, "Who's this guy?" And then he would surprise and fascinate everyone with his amazing musical performance, and then he'd leave, and everyone would be like, oh, "Who's that?
Who's that guy?"
Yeah.
Why is he still wearing makeup?
Yeah. Well, his face is slowly deteriorating from the soil. So yeah, he has to.
I would say when we went to see the Cure and British Summertime in Hyde Park during the middle of the day, you're a bit like, the makeup just looks a bit funny.
Yeah,
you just
doesn't feel the same.
Come on, guys, impact. You're like 70. maybe you need to move on. But
yeah.
I had Sarah takes over the underworld. She basically becomes the head of the underworld. Takes over now that there's a vacuum. And Winston doesn't realize, so they still go and have their hot dogs, but she's secretly the kingpin of the entire thing. Either that, or as she gets older and older and becomes a teenager, the reason why she gets him to be resurrected becomes like pettier and pettier, and she's like, "Oh, I can't find my skateboard. Oh, well, no, resurrect Eric to go and find it for me." And then he has to be, he's like, "Dude, you really have to stop doing this. It's under your bed. You didn't even look."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're sleeping with
like,
it.
She's now got an office job, and her boss is like, you need to work a little bit later, and she's like, "Right, I'm going to resurrect Eric, and he's going to call you and tell you that I'm going to call in sick tomorrow."
Yeah.
What about you, Kev?
Well, linking into the 90s feel, I thought Sarah becomes like an anti-corporate icon, taking on the man. I thought that would be that links in with many other films that we've come across. And then I feel like the sergeant becomes a PI taking on supernatural cases, and maybe has some help from the dark side.
I would say, dude, have you ever seen a ghost, or do you think you've ever seen a ghost?
This is where Natalie might have alienated a few people on this podcast.
Oh, no.
This is where I finish off the rest of them. I don't believe in ghosts at all. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Have you ever seen anything that is like a bit weird, and you're like, I can't really explain that?
I mean, I've been out in London at 3 a.m. Yeah, I've seen loads of weird stuff. So yeah.
Because I would say when they both see the ghost, they're pretty much okay with it.
Yeah.
Like Winston
they are very okay with
quickly,
it, yes.
He's like, he looks a bit like the dead guy that I buried a year ago. And he's just like, maybe, I'm not saying he's a ghost, but I definitely saw something. And you're like, you seem really okay with the fact that
this is how bad this town is. But even seeing the ghost is just like, whatever. It's probably a good thing today.
It's Detroit, apparently.
Where is it? Well, there you go. Explains it all.
I find it interesting that you've both gone for Sarah being the main character and not the crow.
Well, I just presumed the crow was dead. But
right.
if he was still alive, then yeah, musician, you're right. I see him in like I feel like it would be like Roadhouse, where people would like be throwing cans at him and he'd have to have the wire in front of him.
Yeah.
So yes.
That's impressive, bringing it back to Roadhouse still. Really.
Yeah. All roads.
But that's kind of, that's almost the concept of the character, is that he doesn't go on. And maybe that's why, like, Sarah is almost the character with the most arc in the story, and maybe that kind of is why maybe it doesn't work, because actually, again, the entire thing with the crow is he kills the 4 people, and then he goes again, and that's kind of it. And they kind of maybe try and put in that he then meets his wife and he can rest. But I would say that they don't maybe make out more that he can't rest because of what's happened to him. Maybe you've got it in the voiceover, but maybe they don't kind of ram that bit home enough that it's like, I've been in hell for the past year because I just, I've got an itch that I can't scratch, or I've got the worms eating me, or whatever it is, that's just like, this was really bad and I've not been able to rest. And they don't really play on that point, I guess.
No.
Well, we'll get to remake it one day, Andy. We'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll add all these bits in.
Well, unlike The Abyss last week, where I was like, look, we're just going to sort out this story. I wouldn't even attempt to for this, because I think it is what it is, and it works sort of linearly. There's a few things that are unexplained, but so it goes. But for me, the one thing that I would change is just maybe on the soundtrack having it would be nice. Yeah. Almost not bringing in a 90s song, but it would be nice if there was one song that then just went up and exploded, and that was almost every time that you hear that on the radio, you're like, no, this is from The Crow, and that never really quite happened. But I think that would be a fitting, maybe even if Brandon had performed or something like that, maybe if you had a scene where at the start where because all of the scenes of him, them being happy, are flashbacks. And I do feel maybe just a scene from before the murder where he sings and then is like, I love you and we're going to get married. And then it happens.
It's such a romance, honestly. It's an action movie. Get away from
it.
And
then he kicks butt.
Yeah.
So there's enough for both of us. Was there anything that you changed, Kev?
I think like we said about the sister bit was very strange, and like you said, Natalie, it's almost like it was starting to go supernatural. Then it doesn't, it isn't, and what's going to happen. So I think I'd get rid of that bit, and to be honest, you just don't even really need the kingpin. But I don't know, you might need something, because these 4 aren't intelligent enough to have pulled all of everything together themselves. So you do need something, but I'd probably remove that. But what about you, Natalie?
Yeah, I mean, I'd change I'd change the trope of the wife being attacked in some way, maybe. I think I'd want the gang of punks to be more well-rounded. Like, I love a gang of punks. Like, I you know, they don't need a reason to, you know, cause destruction.
Start
but
killing people.
Yeah. So like, I don't mind. I don't even mind there not being a reason for them to want to do it. But to your point, Kev, they're a bit like, duh, like they just seem a bit like dim and like.
Yeah,
it just make them evil. Like, that's fine. So yeah, I'd probably.
Would you bring her back rather than him? Like Shelley?
Not necessarily. I think yeah, I think more time of them like establishing their relationship, maybe, because I also like, why does he like her so much? Like, why does he even want to marry her? Like, we don't know anything about her.
Know anything about
Is she amazing? She did a petition, we know that, but like, we don't really know anything about her and, you know, why they were so in love. There were obviously those like flashbacks where they're like together, but again, they didn't seem to be doing anything to actually be laughing about that much.
That's why I thought like they were going to be like, it would have been really clever if she would have been alive with the Kingpin, because then that changes like so much of it, right? Like that could have been, you'd be like, oh, she's actually alive. What? Like what? But,
yeah, I think that there wasn't enough establishing their relationship. I think the punks weren't like well-rounded enough. They were just stupid.
You want them to order nachos with their bullet shots and just chat a little bit and give us a little bit of backstory. Well, you know, let's go and do this because I really like fire because someone burnt my teddy when I was a kid.
Or just be smart enough to like do it on your own without the Kingpin guy. Like, I don't know, it felt a bit like detached, I guess. And then maybe like make a decision about if it's supernatural or not with the eyeballs and the witchy lady.
It almost felt a little bit Game of Thrones at points, didn't it? Like, oh, is this going to go down a certain route? There was no red wedding, thankfully, so that was good. 3-star reviews then, Andy. Any
3 stars? Yeah, it's just a few. I would say there's sort of the difference that you get in 3-star reviews, I think, is just really really interesting and then the reason why people take 2 stars off of a review. So one person said the movie itself deserves 5 stars, but when I received the package, the disc was loose. Just even the disc being loose was enough to lose 2 stars.
Wow.
And then someone else said, great movie, brings me a nostalgic feeling and it's a memorable film. Only downside would be the condition. They used some sort of glue for the plastic wrapper and I couldn't open the movie. So that person literally can't open the movie at all and deducts 2 stars. And the other person, the disc was just a bit loose and they also deducted 2 stars.
2 stars.
So, yeah.
There you go.
Someone weirdly said not a 5-star image for a Blu-ray and does not have subtitles, just English. Subtitles in Portuguese, Spanish and French would be nice. So either that person is like a crazy linguist or like, why would you want it in 3 different languages? That seems a bit greedy. Yeah.
And then trying to give them options. It's like, look, I'm even open. It doesn't have to just be one. It just give me any of these.
You think it's just a humble brag? Look, I can speak Portuguese, I can speak Spanish, I can speak French. Exactly. Any of those would be fine. And then someone said their review was, the DVD came to me and the case was broken when I reserve it, and one person found that helpful. And I'm just like,
oh, wow.
Okay.
Why would you find that helpful? And just not. There's no helpfulness in that. The DVD came to me and the case was broken when I reserve it. Oh yeah, thanks. That's useful.
That might have been an LLM now. We never know. This might be the AI taking over. This is how they do it.
Some Russian bot who's well, we're going to bring Amazon down by saying that the DVDs
these 3-star reviews they're going to come to the top.
Exactly. So, Kev, number 72 in your list, sounds like you still quite liked it and stuff. So where's it going in the?
Yeah, I did still quite like it. That being said, obviously there's still work to be done in the gap, so needing to fill that gap a little bit. So I'll put it at 83, just above Gravity. but then the next one towards it is 74, which is Zootopia. Still prefer Zootopia. Okay. I enjoyed that movie.
It's a good film.
But yeah, don't talk to Andy about it. He hates it.
Oh God.
Wow, funny.
Too much romance.
You should say that. Actually, not enough action.
Yeah. So yeah, 83 for me. What about you then? Do you get it to get into the good bad?
You know what? I put it in the good section. I do. I do think there's enough there that I think it's of its time. But almost if you want to watch a film about the early 90s goth scene, then outside of maybe Edward Scissorhands, then I think watching this, I think it's of its time. But actually, like, there's enough there for me that makes sense to actually kind of make it watchable, and I do think it is a product of its time. So I put it number 80. So actually one above Zootropolis or Zootopia, depending on where you are.
Wow, okay.
And just below Total Recall. So both of us had Zootopia vibes when we were putting this one in. So
the obvious double header.
Definitely, double header. We're going to do that with Poppy. We'll say, okay, no, you just need to know the 90s. The sooner that you get it over with.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Well,
so there we go. The Crow. What do you have for us next week?
Well, next week now. So we move from The Crow, which is 1994, back to 1993, which can only be described
back to
as
1989.
Yeah, the sacred year that is 89. This can only be described as a comedy romance. It is right up your alley, Andy.
We're in your romance phase, Kev. There's no denying it. We're doing
this
sci-fi romance film. Action romance, now comedy romance.
Yeah, exactly. Sci-fi romance, horror romance, yes. Much shorter, obviously, comedy film, generally shorter, so 93 minutes. A big difference. Rotten Tomato audience score 75, critic score 57, which I think when you know what it is, you'd understand that. This was very much more of a cult. It was like Marmite, you liked it or hated it. No explosions, 3 deaths, and no animated characters. And the description is: a paranoid poet falls for a butcher and fears she might be the serial killer from his favourite tabloid. So there you are. Cryptic. You don't look like you've got an idea there, Natalie.
Any guesses, Natalie?
Yeah.
It's not the cook deceased the wife and his lover?
It's not correct.
Good guess, though.
I've not seen it, so I was really piecing that together. No, I don't know.
Mm. Well, tune in next week.
The cook, the thief, the butcher.
I know. I was like, it's one of those. I can't have the thief.
It was a sequel. As well.
I've just been a little bit more liberal with the word cook. Yeah.
I mean, it is a classic. It's funny. Rom-com still with 3 deaths, I think. Is
that's what's worrying me.
Yeah. Well, we'll tell you when you know. You'll understand.
Okay.
The deaths.
Yeah. Nice. Classic. Well, looking forward to that. Please thank Tom for the theme song. That's great. So we'll just go back to the 90s. We'll just continue with the Absinthe and see who's the first person to look through the eye of a crow.